Hi folks, I hope you're well. Just 3 today in today's showbiz news. Vanessa Feltz has quit this morning after 33 years on and off the show. She's got her own show on Channel 5 and she says she can't devote any time to this morning, so it's Channel 5 all the way. Well, that's for as long as it lasts anyway. Meryl Streep, she's confirmed the rumours. She has been seeing Martin Short for about 12 months now. I would have said that was a pretty strange union that. I wouldn't have expected that somehow. I don't know why, I could understand Martin with Meryl. Can't understand Meryl with Martin, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm, I don't know. I really don't know. And lastly, this folk today complaining about Robert De Niro on the One Show last night. I don't know if you've seen it. I did. I was going to comment on the show today anyway, but folk are complaining. They said he didn't seem to want to know and wasn't really taking part. And I thought, well, that's par for the course for old Robert. He's known to be awful to interview. Nobody likes interviewing him. He doesn't like having interviews done. He doesn't like it at all. It's part of the gig sometimes and he has to have it done, but he's not keen one iota. I didn't think he was that bad last night, He didn't say a lot. He didn't look as grumpy as normal. He didn't look as grumpy as I am some of the time. He wasn't over the top and singing and dancing, but he doesn't. It's just how he does it. But I quite enjoyed the show. I mean, I record the One Show every night. Very, very rare do I watch it. Erin does will say to me about 7:30, 8 o'clock, this is what's on it tonight, do you want to watch it later? And I'll watch it when she's gone up the dancers. And I'll normally say, oh no, rub that off. Rub that off, If someone on it's from Loose Women I don't like, or Paddy McGuinness, or someone of that ilk, no, rub it off. No. But last night I heard that old Robert De Niro was on there, and I keep getting Stephen Graham. I keep forgetting his name, and I know him so well. Stephen Graham. Well, I've said before, folks, if you've followed the channel, I love Stephen Graham. I think he's absolutely out of this world. I think himself and Lenny James are the best actors we've got in Great Britain at the moment. And as for Robert De Niro, well, I think Robert De Niro is one of the greatest actors of all time. Many will point to his good mate Al Pacino. I like Pacino, I think he's great. I just think De Niro shades him. I think Al Pacino sometimes is guilty of overacting, where I don't think De Niro does or has to, really. I think De Niro's one of the best I've ever seen. But they asked a couple of questions last night on the sofa, and I just thought I'd bring them up. I don't know what you thought. If you didn't hear it or see it, great question it was. They asked the young lady that's appearing with Robert De Niro in his latest series, what's the one film that you have that you keep going back to, the film you've watched the most? And she said whatever it was. I think it was Matilda or something like that. They asked De Niro, and true to what they say about him, well, I can't say I've got one, he said, but it's a good question. You've put me on the spot, he said, but I'm not somebody that watches a film over and over, really. I don't tend to do that. He said, I'm sorry, he said, but I couldn't give you one. Then they asked old Stephen Graham, what's your favourite? And he said, straight away, oh, Kes. Always Kes. And I thought, brilliant. It's little wonder I like him, because I love Kes. I've seen it again about 12 months ago for the first time in years. I've probably seen it 6 or 8 times in my lifetime. Not seen it for years. Still brilliant now. I absolutely loved it. Loved it. I love the young fellow that played him. I think Colin Welland is fantastic. I think your Yorkshireman Brian Glover, or Bobby Charlton as you like to be called, is just brilliant. I just think it's a wonderful film. It really is. And I thought to myself at the time, I'll bet you, well, Bobby De Niro's never seen that. And I bet he would absolutely love it. I bet he'd love it. There'll be plenty in America that haven't seen it. Honestly, what a film that was. And then Stephen Graham was talking. I thought it was brilliant. They said, what got you into acting? He said, well, I seen something somewhere. And I thought, I want to do that. So I told my dad, and my dad said, okay. Then he said, I'll tell you what we'll do. Come with me over the weekend. He said, and we went down to a video shop. He said, do you remember them? He said, they used to have video shops on the high street. I remember it well. He said, and we got 3 videos out. He said, and the 3 we got out, he said, was The Godfather, Taxi Driver, and The Deer Hunter. And he looks over to old Bobby De Niro, because Bobby, I looked the right way, because Bobby was that side of him to his left. And he said, weirdly, Mr. De Niro, you was in all 3. And De Niro said, oh, that's really nice, that, thank you. He said, and I loved them. And ever since then, I thought, I've got to be an actor, I really want to do it. He said, I've looked up to you, I thought you were great. And I'm the same. I mean, it's weird, though, I'm a bit different than the norm. Those 3 films are films I'd look at, but I'd look at the latter 2 before The Godfather. Everyone would put The Godfather at the top there. For me, it'd definitely be The Deer Hunter, followed by Taxi Driver, and then The Godfather. I thought the other 2 were absolutely brilliant. Brilliant films. My new part of it is, I've got memories of a good friend of mine who died many years ago, watching Taxi Driver and The Deer Hunter at the cinema when they came out, and we loved them. And he died not that long after, sadly. He died very, very young. So they always mean something to me, those two. But, you know, brilliant films. And I really enjoyed it last night, the old half an hour, the old one show. I thought it was great. Wish it had gone on for a couple of hours. But, Bobby, De Niro, if you ever watch this, go and get a tape if you can get one anyway. You won't get one on that street now, no. You'll have to look for it somewhere. Go and have a look for Kes. You'll love it, I promise you. It's a crackerjack of a film. Can't go wrong with Kes.